Okay, so the Bunsen burner is the metal part, and then we have hosing to connect it to the valve. So one end should always be connected here, and then the other end is what we connect to the valve. When you put it on, there's not like a specific distance that you have to have it from the end. You just, when you pull back, it shouldn't come off very easily. So like this one maybe needs to go on a little bit more, but as long as it's on there pretty secure, you're good to go. Parts of the Bunsen burner to kind of look at, this is where the flame will come out. You obviously won't see anything until you've ignited the gas, because the gas is colorless. This bottom one adjusts the height of the flame. I always warn students to be careful, and if you're not comfortable, always call me over, because I've had cases before where they've twisted a little too far and it's fallen out the bottom. And then this one adjusts the color of the flame. So blue is warmer flame, orange is not. Kind of depends on the lab for what we want, but typically I have it kind of like a mix of both. For the gas, so when it's pointed either at this wall or this wall, because it can be interchangeable, that means the gas is off. When it's pointed towards you, which is the only way, like it can't turn this way, so when it's pointed towards you, that's when it's on. And when it's on, you should be able to hear it coming out here, because if you hear it but you can't hear it from here, that means it's getting stuck here. There's something wrong with the hose. If you can't hear it at all, I'm either gonna assume the gas is shut off or there's something wrong with the valve. So we'll just test it to make sure gas is coming out. And your pointer finger of your dominant hand, and then you just squeeze them together and it will produce a spark. Sometimes with some of them you may have to put a little pressure here, but just again watch where your hands are when you light it. And when you do this with the Bunsen burner, you want to kind of be mindful of where you're sparking at. You don't want to spark all the way up here, because the gas is not going to travel that far that fast, and you're just going to spark and spark and spark and spark. And because the gas, when it comes out of here, is going to start to spread throughout the room. You also don't want to have it like here, because it won't spark. If it sparks too close, it actually can go back through, which is not a good thing either. So holding it about this high above it gives it enough room to breathe, but also gets a good spark. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay. So then again, this one adjusts the color of the flame.
What color do you want it to be?
I typically leave it more of like a bluish color, but if it, like even like this, where it's like blue and then orange towards the top. And then again, this one's the height. Typically I don't mess too much with the height one unless it's like really high.
Okay.
Then the other thing I tell them is like, a lot of times, you don't always get on your first time. Like there's times I still like can't get it the first pinch or two. As long as someone stays at their lab station to just watch it, because it's an open flame. The other thing we talk about is like, the only way to shut it off / stop the flame is to shut the gas off. You can't blow this out like a birthday candle, because it's just, there's continuous fuel to the fire. So if you want to shut it off, again, it can be either direction, just away from you. You just shut it off. Now sometimes there's like a little residual flame left over, so you just got to kind of be mindful of that, but